In this video, we're going to take a look at the lay of the land of Moodle so that you kind of just understand it in general as a course management system. And to do this, I am going to toggle back and forth between two Moodle pages. The first one I'm on is really just a shell. By that, I mean that it is what you might see if you asked me to make you a new Moodle page and for you to start by scratch. And then the second one is a complete course with a lot of customization that's been done by Matt Williamson. That's his honors biology course. So let's start with the shell. Notice on the left-hand side there are blocks. And there are two standard blocks that you'll for sure see on every Moodle page that you go on. One is called the navigation block and one is called the administration block. The navigation block is important because one of the parts of that is my courses. If you are a teacher who has been assigned to a course that you have the ability to edit, you will see my courses over on the left. Students will see that as well if they're enrolled as a student on any teacher's course page. If you hit the triangle next to it, that's a quick way to get a drop-down menu of any course that you're enrolled in. So for you, that might be that it's a page that you edit as a teacher, or we also have pages in the district that you might be enrolled in as a non-editor. We could call that the student role, where you use it just to glean information about various different aspects of your job. So that's one thing to notice, is that all students and all teachers, as long as they're enrolled in one class, will have my courses in the navigation block, and they can use the drop-down menu to quickly go from one course to another. So I'm going to close that. Now the administration block. Every student and every staff has an administration block. If you are assigned as a teacher to a course, you actually have lots of different options inside the administration block. We will explore many of those later on in this course. If you are a student, you have far less options in the administration block. One of the things you do have as a student, and I'm just going to point this out right here, I have it as a teacher here too, is that students in their administration block have the ability to unenroll from a teacher's Moodle page. And doing that is just, for one, it would be so that people can keep their My Courses list a little slimmed down. If you are a teacher and you want to unenroll or get out of a class, then you would send that request to me, Terry Oslin. So the administration block is important because of teacher tools, really. The one that I want to point out is the edit settings option, because what that is it is an opportunity for you to define some things about your page as a whole. For example, notice that on this page I have 10 blocks in my center column. These are called topic blocks. And generally speaking, they're going to be reserved for curricular areas or units of study. And so one of the main page settings that you can access by going to edit settings is to change the number of blocks in the center column. So if I click on edit settings and I scroll down, and I go to course format, you'll notice number of sections. If I change that to 8 and then scroll to the bottom of these page settings and click save, I now have 8 blocks in the center section of my course. I would do that if I have 8 units in my course. So that center section is made up of what we call topic blocks. And so each of the sections are for units typically. And then the top block is for general information to be posted pertaining to the course. For the topic blocks that relate to units, ultimately you are going to, if I tease that open here, you are going to be posting resources in those blocks. And the resources might be things like links to documents, links to websites, digital assignments that you might post, digital assessments, and a number of other things that are possible within this course management system. So over time, the center section will really be made up of digital materials for any particular unit of study in your course. Now, the next thing that I wanted to show you is over on the upper right-hand side. Assuming that you're assigned as a teacher to this particular page that you're on, any Moodle page, you're going to see a button to turn editing on. So if you do that, the look of your page will change dramatically. So I'm going to click on it so you can see what I mean. And what happens is that in every block, whether the block is in the right-hand corner like this one right here, or the left-hand side like this column right here, or in the center section, you are going to see some editing tools. And the editing tools have some consistency from one to the next, but those are very important when you have editing turned on, because those are what you use to manipulate your page swiftly. So again, if I have editing turned on, now I have a button that tells me I can turn my editing off. So if I click like that, then I will see the page more like your visitors to your page will see. In terms of the specific tools that you see when you have editing turned on, we'll look at those in a future video. But I did want to give you just a lay of the land of a general Moodle page. And now if I look at one that has been propagated with content or customized by Mr. Williamson, you'll see some of those similar elements. So for example, there's the turn editing on button. If I click that, my editing tools will appear. We'll talk about how you use those tools later. I turn editing off. These blocks in the left-hand column and the right-hand column are often used to embed content or to customize the look of your page. So these are very, very unique to each individual teacher, in this case, Mr. Williamson. But you can see some of those on the right and the left-hand side. However, if I continue to scroll down the page, you will see what I mentioned to you, which is that on every Moodle page there is a navigation block and there is an administration block. All right, one other thing that I wanted to mention is at the top of the page, there are hot links that help you to navigate around Moodle. And we specifically, and this is a general web or internet term, we specifically call these breadcrumbs. So let's say that I'm on Mr. Williamson's page and notice that he has this term 1 final posted here. If I click on that and now you go back up to your breadcrumbs, you will notice that there is a breadcrumb that tells me that I'm on the term 1 final. If I wanted to get back to Mr. Williamson's homepage, I could use my breadcrumbs just like Hansel and Gretel. I could click on that hyperlink, or if I wanted to get back to the Moodle homepage, I could click on that breadcrumb even farther back. So if I want to go back to that homepage, I click here. And then another thing to note, that in the center section, a teacher has the ability to show and hide content. And so if you look in the top block of Mr. Williamson's course, the text for the lab report and the term 1 final, it's kind of like faded out. And that is a visual cue to you as the teacher that you've hidden that content. Anything that's kind of faded out like that is not visible to the students. So that's kind of a unique feature to Moodle, that you can show and hide content. I hope that this lay of the land journey has been helpful to you to understand how this course management system is constructed.